告很久的嘛，这个，他的老板新加坡人来的，是哦。
I saw it on the ads, and my friends recommended it, so I used it.
This is the 10th annual dinner of the Leong family. This year's theme is Shanghai Glamour. This is not only a celebration of family ties, but also a testament to the longevity of a business that began in the 1920s and has since spanned 7 decades.
I'm a 21st generation. Yeah, and my dad is the 20th generation, so very exciting.
我是梁庆金，梁建夫工业有限公司的董事主席，我是第20代。
I'm second generation. Call me Five Uncle. This is the Leong's family.
How did a tiny bottle of medicated oil give rise to a multi-million-dollar franchise with an international consumer market? What is the secret behind this successful Singapore story? Axe brand medicated oil has been around for almost 90 years. Famous for providing numerous medical remedies, this magic oil in a bottle has been endorsed by both young and old. Its iconic logo is instantly recognizable. Its adverts are seen all over Singapore, and we're about to discover the recipe for this success story.
For those people who have been working for Leong Kai Fook, they will tell you the same thing. They do not understand how come a small bottle of oil can do so well.
Singapore, 1928. It was a time when hope was high and riches were made. Coming off the recession a few years earlier, prices of tin and rubber soared and helped make fortunes of local businessmen. And many immigrants came from all over to seek their fortunes on this tiny island known as Nanyang. A man in his 20s, Leong Yun Chi arrived in Singapore from China to make this place his home. This young lad had the ambition and determination, but he also had one very important thing on his side: Lady Luck.
Met a German doctor, and he liked him so much. That's why he passed on to this formula of Axe oil. He said, the climate here is so humid and warm, and he thinks this is a good remedy for the tropical country.
The German physician whom Leong met was Dr. Schmielder, who was suitably impressed and gave him a recipe for medicated oil. This marked the humble beginnings of a business empire which would stretch several generations.
开始的时候是相当困难的了，他拿起的药啊去找代理了，人家一看到他就，我们这边没有地方放你的药了，你们拿回去。
A burgeoning entrepreneurial spirit was fueling the booming economy of Singapore. This business bug bit Leong, and he set up his own medicated oil company under the name of Leong Kai Fook. Running a business is not always smooth sailing. In the beginning, business was slow, and stiff competition from imports from China and Hong Kong made things even tougher for a local product to hold its own. Leong Yun Chi realized that this was a perception problem that had to be solved in order for his product to compete with imported brands. Branding and advertising are important aspects of marketing a product. International brands are built upon years of strong marketing initiatives and rely on recognizable trademarks to distinguish themselves from the competition. Today, media outlets such as television, internet billboards, print media, and logos help to create awareness and shape the consumer's perception of a product or brand. But back in the 1930s and 40s, ways to reach the consumer masses were very limited. Mr. Leung Yun-chi, however, recognized the importance of advertising and creating a strong brand image to sell his product. He would prove himself to be a marketing innovator. In the past, people used wood rather than gas for cooking. Every household had an axe, and it was a common domestic tool. With a stroke of ingenuity, Leung Yun-chi decided to use an axe as the logo for his product.
He's really a marketing man. In those days, he wear a suit and the latest model of motor car. The driver also in uniform. So I go to Malaysia.
那么下来的时候拿起了包，穿起西装进去。那这老板呢，看见他的情况的话，是大老板，就已经接他去，就跟他商量，所以一讲起来就比较容易。
Leung recognized early on that image was important towards establishing ties with potential clients and sought to create an impression. With marketing acumen that was clearly before his time, Leung realized the importance of his company's image and made sure his staff was equally presentable.
他是这样，假如你这张放这个里面你的公司的产品人家看了之后就把它顺手掉了。可是它不同，它后面呢放一点这个24孝的故事，还有这个部分的是小说。那么人家看了它之后他里面相当可以有东西看了，所以就拿回去给的家里人看，所以它的比较有效了。
Modern flyers and pamphlets are a common sight and a simple advertising tool. Yet we frequently find ourselves tossing them into the nearest bin. But back in the 1930s, Leung, who was already ahead of his time, found innovative ways to make sure Axe brand handbills stayed in your hand.
At the same time, he also have a driver. You know, in those days, the Maling Kampong, the one street, so he will distribute the handbills. He distribute on one side of the road, and his driver distribute the handbill the other side of the road. That's the best medium. There's no television those days, no radio. People read them every day, you see. And if you are owner of a newspaper, if that certain days you don't have enough advertisement, you plug your own newspaper advertising in, you see. So there's a win-win situation.
From product placements to printed materials, Mr. Leung spared no expense. In fact, he had an in-house graphic designer back then to create visuals for his advertising, something that was unheard of in those days. 1942, Singapore was attacked during the Second World War. Many lives were lost, and trades and businesses suffered greatly. The nation was in a social and economic depression. Despite these tumultuous times, Axe brand medicated oil found itself in an uncommon situation.
这差不多1937年日本说打中国了，后来呢又占据这个新加坡了。在日本的时候你知道了，这个生活方面呢，种种方面都是很差的。可是呢，我们的油呢，因为没有其他的油来，香港的不能过来，其他国家的也不能过来，因为是日本管制嘛，就是它是很严格的，所以我们的风油呢又很好销路了。
Having survived the Second World War, Singapore was now on its way to gaining full independence. National economic strategies were put in place, and with greater stability, local businesses found the freedom to thrive. Breaking through the hardships of previous decades, Leung Yun-chi's business foresight ensured the continued growth of Axe brand. And when his son, Mr. Leung Heng-keng, took over in the 70s, an opportunity presented itself that would take Axe brand medicated oil to the international stage. The Hajj is an annual pilgrimage to Mecca. Every able-bodied Muslim must make the Hajj at least once in his or her lifetime. it is the largest pilgrimage of its kind in the world, with an estimated 2 million pilgrims making this journey annually. The road to Mecca is a long and arduous one, and in the 1960s, many traveled to Mecca on foot or by sea.
那么我看见的情况，我就跑上那船去看看这情况怎么样。原来他们呢，他们每个人呢都睡在船的面呢上面呢，几个人睡在一起这样的。那么我看见的情况啊，坐船呢又头晕，啊，晚上又有蚊子啊，还有什么，有时候头子痛啊，头晕啊这样，我就上床呢。每一个派给他们我们的风油了，所以一下子呢，我去那边又找了代理了，很快就他们就跟我们做了，所以现在销路啊，我们那边很厉害，还有捷达那边也是这样情况，我们不出去的。
On this grueling journey, pilgrims would suffer headaches, giddiness, and other ailments. Axe brand medicated oil was what they turned to for relief. As word of this magic oil spread, Axe brand suddenly became a hotly sought after item amongst Muslims living in countries such as Indonesia, Pakistan, and even Kenya. Mr. Leung Yun Chi's philosophy is to sacrifice profit margins and make his products as affordable as possible. This enabled a practical outreach to the masses. His foresight and business strategy has seen his product expand its reach mainly within the Singapore and Malaysian markets. And as new generations took over the family business, they sought fresh ways and means to further their reach around the world.
Before we have the attitude of, because we are a well-known product, we are expecting the orders to come in. But instead of now, I'm seeking for the orders.
Because of my position as a business development manager in Leong Kai Fook, the goal is to expand, to more countries. Now we are looking into India, Africa, certain parts of Africa, because we are already in Africa, but still a lot of territory we have not covered. So we are still expanding.
Since Singapore's humble beginnings, the little island that could be has, with the help of our forefathers, transformed into a modern city and ranks as a nation with one of the world's highest per capita incomes. However, the business world of today is highly competitive and vastly different from 70 years ago. How does Leong Kai Fook ensure it can keep up with modern times while preserving their traditional roots?
As Leong Kai Fook's business went global, demand for Axe brand medicated oil grew to incredible heights. Traditionally, all of the bottles were manually filled by hand, and Mr. Leung Mun Sun realized that operations would need to be changed drastically in order for them to meet the increased production requirements.
Before just by menu, because maybe the filling the bottles, they probably use a needle, a big bottle, a rubber tube with a needle, and then fill the bottle one at a time. You see.
Production start produce oil, the first thing we have to do the bulk mixture first. If pass, then we send out for the production to start cooling. In the mid of the day, they will go to the finished product, so we need to analyze the oil itself.
Along with the incredible growth of the company, Leung Kai Fook always made sure that their employees were never left behind. Many of their employees have worked in the company for more than 10 years, and more than 50% of their employees are over the age of 45.
我病了大概有4年了，现在还在继续看医生了。但是我的老板好像我的 bill 啊什么，我拿给我的老板啊什么样，因为他的这个责任拿去啊，他也没有第二季照还给我，所以我也非常感激我的老板。
A key to maintaining business longevity is to ensure you keep your employees happy. Since a good employee is like a loyal customer, the happier you make them, the longer they will stay and help your business grow.
They like our company, although we are not the best paid. Because we're kind to them, I think.
所以我觉得我在这边能够做到40多年啊，是真的。一方面当然是老板好，我才能够做得这么久。对，有好的老板啊，到现在都是一样。
In recent years, a new wave of entrepreneurship is sweeping the nation. The government is pushing and encouraging many young Singaporeans to take the bold steps to start their own businesses. As we look to Leung Kai Fook's successful business that has lasted for several decades, what can we learn from this company that has lasted for 3 generations and is still going strong?
To chase after what you believe in.
我最主要是还是守业，创业难，守业更难。我们要有手头要稳固，同时还要发扬光大。
Be brave, go out, venture, find the right thing that you are interested in, and then go for it. Yeah.
Under the dynamic and bold business approach taken by the family members running the company, the little magic bottle has come a long way.
Today, Leung Kai Fook exports millions of dollars worth of Axe oil products every year to the Middle East, Africa, and China. Their products travel to 50 countries spreading over 5 continents. They now have factories in Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Singapore, and Guangdong province in China, the hometown of founder Leung Yun Chi. However, despite Leung's pioneering marketing and advertising strategies, the main key to his success story is how he has kept the business within the family.
秘诀就是主要是要兄弟不好争，每一个商家都是一样的，他的后代一争呢就发生麻烦了。
Unity, we have always said, even united together, nobody can take it away from us. It will not split.
They are just as important. Because without the family, I don't think we have the business, And with the family help, we can grow the business.
Aunties and nieces and nephews, thank you for dressing up for the event at Glamorous Shanghai. Today is a very special occasion for us. Every year we have been doing this for the past 10 years, I think.
That's why, every year we have a get-together.
You really don't know what to say.
And I feel very proud of it.
Anyway, I put in a lot of work on it. Today we also want to launch the family tree.
We are very moved that everybody can turn up to make this a great occasion.
In this case of a Singapore success story, what made their story unique is the strength of their family unity, where the value and success of Leung Kai Fook's business is not measured by how far their products have traveled or how much money they've made, but how strong the bond is between the family members from generation to generation.
I'm very, very proud to be in this family. I do not know why. Because my family members are very kind.
我觉得很骄傲的是，我们一家能够聚在一起，尤其是我们3代都能够同堂，每年都能够在一起见面。 这个对这个我们的家庭是一件非常幸福的事情。